All right, it's officially time. Hello and welcome to Stretch Break. My name's Amber Langford, and I'll be running you through your stretches today. For today's class, we are going to be using our chairs. For our chairs, I recommend that we are using a stable or stationary chair, one ideally without any wheels. If you do have wheels and you're able to lock them, I ask that you please do so now. Otherwise, if you have a rolling chair, please move that chair and press it up against a wall or a stable surface just to take away some of that motion, some of that rolling and twisting. We're going to begin standing today and we're going to make our way to the back of our chair. We're going to hold on to the back of our chair for balance. Now, we are also going to begin with a little bit of some footwork. So, we're going to be stretching our feet. If you're able to and if you're comfortable, I ask that you please remove your shoes so you are either in socks or barefoot. If you do have your shoes on, that is okay. You can still get a nice stretch. You'll just be able to feel it a little more intense without any footwear. So standing tall, holding onto the back of your chair with balance, we're going to take one leg and all we're going to do first is lift your heel up, bending your knee. We're actively pressing the bottom of our toes down into the ground. Ankle presses forward. We're trying to get as much toe extension as is comfortable. You can also play around with where you're sitting your weights. You want to feel a little bit more intensity, you can kind of shift so you're leaning a little bit more on that elevated heel foot. You should feel a nice little stretch down the bottom of that foot here. Taking nice deep breaths. We're inhaling through our nose, exhaling through our mouth. Holding this for one last breath. Keeping that heel lifted, we're going to roll our toes under. So now the tops of our toes are pressing down into the ground, working on that toe flexion. We're also actively pressing that ankle forward. So you should feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of your ankle, maybe even leading up into your shin as well. One more deep breath here. Lowering your foot down, switching sides, same thing, other leg. Lifting that heel up, bending your knees, starting first by pressing the bottom of our feet, or those toes, down into the ground. Working on your toe extension, feeling a good stretch down the bottom of your foot. One more deep breath. And then we're going to go ahead and now roll those toes under so the tops of our toes are pressing into the ground, ankle presses forward, switching that stretch so we feel a good stretch in the front of your ankle, maybe even up into your shins, and we're working on that toe flexion here. One more deep breath. Lowering that foot down, going into a hip flexor stretch. Next, I want you to take your right leg, taking a step back with that right leg. Your hips are facing forward, holding onto the back of your chair for balance. Both feet are flat on the ground, and we're just going to bring those hips forward. Chest is upright. Feeling that right hip flexor open. Taking nice deep breaths. One more deep breath. And then if you feel comfortable, I want you to lift that right arm off the chair, reach to the ceiling, and then over towards that left side. So we're opening up that right side body, really feeling those obliques open up here. One last deep breath. Lowering your arm down, bringing that right leg in. Same thing, left side, taking a step back with your left leg. Nice tall lunge, feet are flat. Hips are pressing forward. Feeling that left hip flexor open. One more deep breath. And then if you feel comfortable on this side, I want you to take that left arm, reaching up to the ceiling and over towards the right, opening up that side body. One last breath. Lowering that arm back to your chair, bringing your legs in, and we're going to straighten your arms out. Slowly walking your feet back, we're going to drop our chest down into a puppy dog pose. So in this pose, we're going to drop our chest, opening up through those shoulders. You should have your hips stacked right over your ankles and allowing just kind of a soft knee bend here. Dropping that chest as close to the ground as it will go. One more deep breath. And then we're going to add some knee pumps. So we're going to straighten one leg, bending the other, and switch. So we're getting a little bit of rotation through your hips and through that low spine here. One more to each side. Return to center and slowly walk your feet in, lifting your chest up. And then we're going to move to a seated position. So go ahead and sit down in those chairs. We're going to start with a seated twist first. So making sure your feet are flat on the ground, chest is nice and upright. Left hand grabs the outside of that right thigh. Right arm is going to reach back, looking over that right shoulder, getting as much rotation as is comfortable here. One more deep breath. Return to center, and then switch sides. Right hand grabs left outer thigh. Left hand reaches back, looking over that shoulder. One last deep breath. Return to center. Right arm's going to reach up horizontal, and we're going to cross our arm over towards the left. Left hand grabs the elbow, and we're going to pull that right arm in as close to your chest as you can. One more deep breath. Releasing that right arm, switching sides, left arm reaches up, crossing in front of your chest. Right arm grabs the elbow to pull your left arm in as close to your chest as you can. One last breath. Releasing that left arm, and we're going to reach back behind our back. I'm just kind of switching my view so you can see a little better. Lacing your fingers behind your back, palms facing up towards the ceiling. We're just going to straighten your elbows, lift your chin, and then if you're able to, I want you to try to pull your hands away from those glutes. Feeling that chest open here. Taking nice deep breaths, inhaling through your nose, exhale through your mouth. One last breath. Releasing those hands, bringing them back, relaxing out of that. We're going to switch our focus to our neck next. So I want you to sit up as tall as you can, shoulders away from your ears. Starting first, bringing your right ear to right shoulder, opening up that left side of your neck. You can feel free to put some gentle pressure on the top of your head if you'd like. And then rolling chin to chest. Looking down towards the ground. And then rolling left your left shoulder. Opening up that right side of your neck now. And then last one, feel free to close your eyes for this, but rolling your head back, looking to the ceiling. Relaxing out of that, slowly lifting that head back to neutral position. And that is all of the stretching I have for you all today. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and see you next time.